Globetrotters. Headmaster Oversea Models wasn't quite as sure as the Maslows should jet off to Scotland, but Professor Radcliffe convinced him to take several phone calls. He moved seas to mountains and in an attempt to get touch with Bridget, but it was no use. She seemed to have disappeared. After much discussion with Professor Radcliffe, the headmaster finally gave the Thea sisters permission to hit the Isle of Skye. But I can only give you for 4 days, including the weekend, the headmaster warned them. The Thea sisters packed their bags quicker than you can say chewy cheesecake with chocolate on top. Even Colette managed to fit everything in the single backpack, although it was an enormous backpack, complete with wheels. The next morning, they boarded Vince Guymouse's hydroplane bright and early. They reached Mouse Island just in time to catch the first available flight to Glasgow. Violet sent a text message, a last of many, to Bridget to let her know when they'd arrive. But why wasn't Bridget responding? The Mouseless settled on the first long flight. Violet and Paulina pulled out the books. Books Professor Radcliffe had loaned them. Unfortunately, the guide of the Eyes of Skye was old, and the information about how to get there was no longer visible. Meanwhile, Pamela, Nikki, and Colette were making new friends with two ratlings from Spain who had planned to trip to Scotland. They had up-to-date road maps. By the time the 5 mice landed, Pamela knew everything where there was no about the Scottish highway system. Everyone hop on. Let's rent motorcycles, Pamela exclaimed as soon as they left the airport. Motorcycles, Violet replied. Are you kidding? No, I'm serious, Pam replied. It's almost 200 miles to Skye Bridge of Low Cash. On the bike, we can get there less than 4.5 hours. Violet wasn't convinced. I was thinking we could get there by train. Yes, but how would we get around the island? Pam said. We will get a way to get to the castle. We could rent a car, of course, but the roads are so narrow and winding that will be hard to maneuver. With a motorcycle, it will be much easier to get around. Yes, but we'll still need to cross the island. It's 50 miles, Colette said anxiously, fluttering her fur. That's going to do some serious damage to Maidu. But Pam wasn't giving up easily. Colette, the whole drive is along the coast. Think of all those breathtaking landscapes. I vote for the motorcycles, Nikki exclaimed, raising her paw enthusiastically. We're going to Highlands, Mouseless. Don't you want to enjoy the countryside? Paulina nodded. Good point, Nikki. Well, okay, I guess we can try it, Violet said, giving in. Only Cola was still uncertain. What am I going to do to this backpack? Don't worry, Colette, Pamela replied. We'll rent a motorcycle with big storage compartments. You see, it'll be like a worn pool on wheels. Colette responded in a nervous smile. Just outside the airport, the mouseless found a place to rent everything they needed. 3 motorcycles in a perfect shape, filled with gasoline, 5 helmets in different colors, jackets that were light but make a weather-resistant fabric, up-to-date road maps, and an emergency kit in the case of the breakdown. They had just left Glasgow when the fine rain started to fall. Brrr, said Paulina, shivering. That's just how it go on the British Isles, said Colette, shrugging. It's frightful for the far, but what can you do? They continued driving. After the hour's journey, they spotted Loch Lomond, the largest lake in Great Britain. A patch of blue sky appeared, and the sun peeked through the clouds. It lit up the rippling surface of the lake. On the other side, green hills sparkled in the mist. Look at all the sheep! Nikki squealed with excitement, pointing at the white patch that was moving slowly on one of the hills. She was from a sheep farm in Australia, so for her, seeing those sheep felt like coming home. Suddenly they stopped at the top of the hill, completely covered with blanket of purplish heather of bloom. How gorgeous! Colette exclaimed with a sigh.